So Pythagorean theorem is one of the rules that we're going to see all like over and over and over again. It doesn't have to be only in trigonometry. It could be in geometry when solving geometry as well. You're going to have to use that theorem again. Okay? So the Pythagorean theorem is only used with what kind of triangles?
Right.
With all triangles only. Okay? So this is what Pythagorean theorem says. In a right angle triangle, the sum of the squares of two legs, so the two sides that form the right angle, equals to the square of the Pythagorean, the hypotenuse, sorry. So what does this mean? What does this English sentence mean? That's right. So, but there is a name, there is a reason why we call them A, B, and C, right? So A, B, and C, they represent certain sides. So if I have a right angle triangle, this is an indication of a right angle triangle, right? The two legs are the height and the base, basically. So these are the legs that form the right angle, right? So we call them A and B. Okay? And the third side is called the hypotenuse, and that side does not ever change. So it's always the side that's across from the 90 degree, and it's called the hypotenuse. It's the longest side, it's the largest side in a triangle. Okay? And we call the side C. So Pythagorean theorem says if I add the square of the two bases of the two legs, so if I square this one and I square this one and I add them, it's going to equal to the square of the hypotenuse. Okay? So this is where the formula a squared plus b squared equals c squared comes from. The hypotenuse is C, always. Okay? So, let's look at an example. When do I use this? I use this formula mostly when I have a right angle triangle, otherwise I can't use it. Okay? That's the first rule. Then if you have two sides and you're looking for the third one, okay? This is when you're going to use it. If you know two sides, you're looking for the third. Now, what if I know the A and the C, and I'm looking for B? What happens then?
You gotta work back, figure out what the B is.
And how would I do that? How would I work backward? What do I have to do? Reorganize the equation. And how would I do that? So I'm looking for B. So I want to leave B here, right? And then what do I want to bring to the other side? The A squared, right? So I have the C squared here. And then if I bring the A squared over, what happens? Exactly. So you subtract because it's opposite operation. Okay? So this is the case where I know A and C and I'm looking for B. Now what if I know if I know B and C and I'm looking for A? So I know B and C and I'm looking for A. What would the formula be? A squared equal? Exactly, because I'm moving the B squared over. Yes? Okay, here's an example. So I have a right angle triangle. I know that because it's of the square on the side. I have length 3 and 6, and I'm looking for x. What do we call x? What's that side called? What's that x called? hypotenuse. Okay, because that's the one across from the 90 degree. Okay, or another I can call if I want, because that's the formula I'm used to. And what do we call the 3 and the 5? A and B. So in this case, I know A and I know B, and I'm looking for C. So I use the regular formula that I'm used to, the first formula that I know. So A squared plus squared equals C squared. What do I plug in? 3 squared plus 5 squared equals C squared. Okay? BEDMAS says, what do I have to do first? Exponents, right? So 3 squared is 9 plus 25 equals C squared. Are we all good with that? Good. Now, 9 plus 25 is 34 equals C squared. Am I done? No. What am I looking for? C. I'm looking only for C. Now, I know that C squared is 34. How can I find C? Square root. Square root. Because the opposite of square is square root. So for me to be able to get rid of that square, I have to square root both sides. No? So that gets rid of the square, and that leaves me with C. Now, if you do square root of 34 on the calculator, it's going to give you a decimal. What is it? 5.83. So because I need it to one decimal place, so that's going to be 5.8. Make sure that when you're rounding properly, right? And that's going to be centimeter because my units is centimeter. Okay? So don't forget to square root your answer. Okay? All right. My next triangle is, I have side 6, I have a side that's 7, and I'm looking for Y. Again, this is a right angle triangle, right? And what sides do I know? A and C. Is it going to make a difference if I call this B and this A? Doesn't matter which one? Doesn't make a difference. But let's keep it the same for now. And let's call this A, and this is the hypotenuse, that is C, right? And if I look at I'm looking for B, so what formula do I use? Let's plug in the given information. So I have C squared, that's 7 squared, minus 6 squared. So that is going to be 49 minus 36. Sorry. 13, yeah. So B squared equals 13. Am I done? What do I have to do to find B? Square root. So B equals to, what's square root of 13 to one decimal place? What's after the 6? Perfect. What happened if just this is a side lesson right now? Okay, so this is my final answer here. What happened if my answer is 3.67? This is a side lesson. I have to round up, right? So that means I can't leave it to 3.6. I have to leave it as 3.7, right? If my answer is 3.64, then I have to keep it as 3.6. For the purpose of this class, anything that's 5 and above, we round up. Anything that's below 5, we keep it the same, round up. Okay?